Good evening, everyone. I know some people still trickling in, but we're going to get started. My name is Andy Ernesto with the Trammell Crow Company. I'll be giving the presentation, but before I go, I want to kick it over to Clement with the Dane County Highway.
Good evening. My name is Clement Abongwa. I'm the Highway Commissioner. First of all, I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and listen to what this project is all about. It is our vision, it is our values, it is also our mission to make sure that we are constructing all this project with the community. And I'm going to tell you right now, yes, there will be things that will not go the way you want, and there will be things that will go the way you want. Because that's how projects are. For today, we are going to be focusing on the improvements on the highway. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you who reach out to the department or to us, asking questions, what about this, in order to make sure that we provide you with the right information. I want to thank you because those were lapses in our process that you fixed by calling us. So I want to say thank you for that. So we are going to be constructing this project with you. It is not the...
I have to stand by the mic so we can hear you on them. Thanks.
Sorry for that interruption. So we are going to be constructing the project with you because that is what the county philosophy is all about. And I'm going to tell you the truth because I am here to tell you the truth. Constructing projects are never fun. But I want you to understand it's our project, it's not Dane County project, it's not Silver Eagle project, it's all of us our project. Because it is our responsibility to make sure that we have a product that is good, that is safe, and that is serving the community. And because of that, I'll be honest with you. There will be times when they will close the road, and you'll be in a hurry. All I'm asking for you to tell us that you are in a hurry so that we can make it work for you. There will be times that you have access to go through the work zone. All I'm asking you is to drive slowly because I want you to get home safely as well as I want the construction workers to get home to their family as well. And that's where I need you people. I need all of you. I stand here today with all humility, and I ask you to construct the project with us. If you have issues, they are giving you ways or medium on which you can contact us or contact the project team so that they can provide you with the information that you need. So please, there's a sign-in sheet. If you sign it, you'll be getting weekly updates so that that you are current with the project. If you do not sign, then you will not be able to get those updates. So please, if you have, you make sure you leave your contact information, their email address, and we'll make necessary arrangement to give you that information, but you have to let us know first. And my role here is to do quality control and to make sure that you get all the right information the right way and promptly. But for me to do that, you need to help me by providing us that information. How do you want that information sent to you? Let us know so that we can make it available to you. So please, thank you for your patience and work with us to construct this as a community, not as a project or not as a county, as a community. When I say county, I mean county as the establishment. Or we construct it as a county, as a community. So without further ado, I'll hand over to the people doing the construction or who are doing the design and the people doing the construction to describe exactly what is going on. And I'll be here to do I'll be here more as a supportive role. And yes, I'm here to defend your interest. For those of you who have contacted me for certain things, I've made sure you got that information. I've worked with them and make sure I gave you those information. I will continue to do that. But please, I also want you to be reasonable. If you are asking us to solve all the problems that are along this highway, I'm telling you that it's impossible. I want you to be reasonable. But if you ask us to solve a problem which it is possible to solve, I promise you I will do everything to solve it. Because if you ask me to bring down the sky, I cannot do that. If you ask me to pave your driveway and I see it is possible to pave the driveway, I will pave it. So I just want to set up that expectation so that we have a good meeting, and we really need to know what is impacting you as far as this project is concerned. And then we will go ahead and do that. And I just want to take an opportunity to thank the project team, because I've been on their case, and they have been responding to the best of their ability. So I just want to say thank you for keeping up with all the demands that the county and the community has been putting on them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. Again, Andy Ernesto with the Trammell Crow Company. I'm going to do the primary presentation of the improvements that are going to be around TT&N and the roundabouts leading up to I-94. So with me tonight, I have a whole team of professionals that have worked on this. Pinnacle Engineering is the design firm. We have Ryan Companies as our general contractor, Ryan Central as the primary subcontractor doing the work, and their subcontractor, Rock Road, are all here to try to help and answer any detailed questions. As Clement said, kind of work with me here. In this format, it's very difficult to go into a ton of detail on plans and different things. So after I go through the presentation, we're gonna have everybody around these tables where you can go and interact with them in a smaller group setting, and they can bring out more detailed plans to ask about any sort of design questions or the implementation. So tonight we're gonna focus on the approved improvements, and we're gonna start with the detours, just so that is the first thing that we're gonna hit on up front. And then, again, we'll have everybody else that can answer any more detailed questions if you have them as we go through this. Okay, so we're gonna start with the detour for when we're concentrating our work on TT in front of the project. So just west of the Cottage Grove Park and Ride on the south side of TT, starting there, heading west towards Hegland, the road will be closed to through traffic. So through traffic means if you're starting well west and need to go east on TT, you're not going to be able to go through. However, if it's local traffic for individuals living in that area, buses in the morning, all that, we will still have a way for individuals to get there. And that is going to start on Monday, the beginning of May, and go to mid-June. That mid-June timeframe is very important to us because the work that is going to occur on N is in conjunction with another county project of a bridge replacement on N at Koshkonong Creek. So with the detour, it's shown in green. So if you're heading eastbound on TT, you can turn north on T to head towards N, and then you can come back down N at that point, or you can continue on T. Again, in the reverse, if you're heading westbound, you can go north on N to pick up T to get around the closure and back to TT, and then also I-94 is always an option. So in that mid-June timeframe, we're going to go and switch gears and focus on County Highway N, because that road was already going to be closed from mid-June to end of September for the bridge replacement project. So in conjunction with the county's project, we're going to move over to N, and at that point, complete the improvements that we need to for the driveway entrances that are going into the site. And that is right now proposed from mid-June to the end of September or mid-September. So I just wanted to hit the detours up front because to me, that's the most important thing to let everybody know as the disruption of where the construction is going on. And then now I'm going to go into like more zoomed in views as much as I can in this setting to, what is going to be occurring in those work zones. So this is an overall site overview of Project Silver Eagle. There's 4 new curb cuts and entrances into the site labeled A, B, C, and D. A and B are primarily for associates to enter and exit the site. D is the primary truck entrance, and C is an alternative route mostly used for emergency access. So on the left-hand side is that big overview that or I guess it's the left for you, right? Yeah, the left-hand side is the big overview that I just went over, and as I move around the different entrances, that red star will move. So on the right-hand side is a zoomed-in view of the improvements on TT right at driveway A, the westernmost driveway. With this, the road will be widened to allow for protected left and right turn lanes, which you can see are highlighted in red. And this is going to continue, through the rest of the driveways. If we go to driveway B, it's similar. There you have the protected left and right turn lanes, and also you can start to see the widening of the road as it's going towards the TTN roundabout, which we'll hit on later, the improvements that are going to occur there.
Is there any way to provide additional seating on short notice here? Because we've got a lot. There's a bunch of seats over here. All right.
How far are they moving the driveway over, or the road over?
I don't have the measurement in front of me, but once we do the breakout, they have the more detailed plans that you can look at and get those takeoffs. But all the improvements for both on TT and N are within the existing right-of-ways that are there.
Are you guys going to be limiting or continuing to limit the entrance B there? It doesn't allow a left turn out of B. Is that going to continue that way throughout? Is that going to be changed? Because it looks like you're going to start accessing it again.
For driveway B?
Yeah. Driveway B.
So driveway B right now is limited for temporary construction. Now, during the actual operation of the building, that will be free movement left and right. Okay. Again, in this format, this is hard to see, but this just shows the length from Hagelin Drive to just in front of the park and ride, and just the area that we'll be working. So once this is done, this will all be freshly paved, new striping the whole way across.
Will we have access to these slides? I feel like your pictures are awfully small.
Yep, we will post these on the village's website, and this is also being recorded, so you'll have that too. If you weren't here at the beginning, all these folks here will have more zoomed in detailed views in the breakout session, because we're dealing with miles of roadway. It's hard to get that level of detail in a slide presentation.
I know you guys have started to try and calculate the number of cars and semis and everything that's going to be coming and going. The roundabouts, most of us that have been through this already once, we've already sat through all the issues in regards to the roundabouts and the repairs, and been asked to be patient while this stuff is going on for Amazon to be able to make this Amazon project continue to come to fruition. Now you're asking us once again, has anybody at least had the foresight this time to actually look and see how far this will actually take care of them before we're going to be asked to once again be put through this kind of stuff? Because the roundabouts were just done, and it was proven at the time that they were being done that they would be insufficient to be able to fulfill what Amazon needed, but they went ahead and pushed through instead of doing the right thing and getting them done right the first time. And now we're being asked again to be inconvenienced from our homes and dealing with all this crap in the first place.
So my understanding is the roundabouts were improved in 2012.
The roundabouts were done for Amazon to begin with.
I'm
They
not.
were done with the Amazon project in mind when it was done.
They were done about 14 years ago. end of life. And I understand what you're saying, like, even that's,
Let me help. The roundabouts were designed, and at that time, they follow all design specs. So we typically will not allow something to be installed without meeting the required specification. With this project, all of those specifications were reviewed, and it meets those specifications to make sure that it will be able to accommodate the increase in traffic.
It's interesting because the reports that were put out by the Army Corps of Engineers, I believe it was a while back, that stated that making semis turn left off and turning into that would be considered a hazard, if not a fatal accident waiting to happen, but yet it's happening anyways.
Our own study did not show that.
But yours didn't, but the Army Corps of Engineers show that?
I'm gonna interrupt here.
Sure.
Guys, can we hold on a second? We're here to do a presentation, and then we're gonna have a bunch of people that are gonna be able to answer individual questions.
Just asking if they've been addressed, if
They
that's
have.
going to be addressed in here.
Yes, absolutely. Let me be in front of the microphone, one sec. And then I'll let you go back,
Yeah, go
okay?
ahead.
So on the village's website, you can see a detailed outline of all the approval processes, both by the county and the state on their on the TIA that has been ongoing since 2021. Not only has the Pinnacle team done a review, Dane County has done an independent review, the village engineers have also done a review. All this information can be found on the village's website dating back to 2021. So if there's more information on that, we're happy to answer those questions as we break out, but this is specifically on the construction aspect of what that's going to look like in the upcoming months as construction will be starting Monday.
Dane County and the state reviewed Trammell Crow, Pinnacle's TIA, GIS.
Well, I just have a quick question. So we are looking at trucks turning left onto and to enter onto 94. Currently, the speed limit is 55. There is a hill coming from the town of Slippery into Cottage Road. A real concern is the human element. What is going to happen if a truck runs a stop sign, a car is going too fast? Is there going to be ways to address speed limit and improve traffic patterns to ensure we don't have a series of fatal accidents, especially on end?
Yeah, all that is, I mean, you can account for what is in the design and upfront in the studies. I mean, we can't account for people not following what is posted, either stop signs or the speed limit. But there are safety factors that are built into those studies, you know, with the line of sight as well as the speed limits. And all that was taken into consideration and it is in detail on the village's website in that traffic impact analysis. So I'll get back to what we're saying here. So this is on Highway N, and the showing where the improvements are going to occur. Again, these are creating protected left and right turn lanes in and out of the site. Okay, so this, again, a very high level of the improvements at the roundabouts. Everything in bold is what is going to occur in and around the roundabouts. The majority of the work is to occur at the TT and N roundabout, which we'll go into more detail. So if you can see my cursor, what's that?
I'm sorry, I was laughing because there's no chance that any of us over here can see the cursor, so I.
Oh, sorry, let us know, we'll move it. But we can show you on the information there. So on the south side of TT, there's going to be two new yielding right bypasses that were required as part of the traffic impact analysis. So with that requires the widening of the road and also maintaining access to the park and ride. Those two yielding right bypass lanes will extend past the park and ride to allow for queuing, and then also, you know, easier access back to I-94. The rest of the improvements are addressing the geometry for turning movements as well as the traffic volumes throughout the roundabouts. So while this is going on, the traffic pattern is going to move from the inside out, and then I'll show you later as it comes back in. So everything in green, you know, in the early May timeframe, those improvements will be occurring, and in the center of the roadway, the traffic will traverse the different roundabouts as it goes through. As those improvements are completed, which are now shown in purple. The traffic will then be pushed back out to the edges of the roundabout, so you can still continue through it and again, as you traverse that to that early June timeframe. It will stay on the outside, but now, starting in June timeframe, the traffic will stay on the outside of the roadway, but it will be limited to single lanes through the actual roundabout so that we can complete that yellow section in the middle. And then in the final end, we will have to go to a flagged traffic control just so we can tie everything in. We have no more way to kind of push things around. So our team has been working on this for a while. It is complex when you're dealing with changing the traffic patterns throughout the roundabout and everything, but everything was developed with safety in mind at the forefront. Okay, so again, I can't get into a ton of detail in this forum, but we have all of our professionals here. Walk around, talk to them, ask them the tough questions that you want to ask. Go ahead.
Before we break out, you didn't address if you're changing any speed limits on TT or N adjacent to this building and all these stop
County
signs.
Highway TT and County Highway N will be reduced to 40 miles per hour once you get into where the improvements are. So it'll hit 40 miles per hour just on the east side of Hagelin, and then coming south on County Highway N, it'll hit, I think it's between the two driveways, or just north of the Girl Barber, it'll hit 40 miles per
Is that
hour.
permanent?
Yep, yep.
So coming over the hill.
That's after the hill, so.
Then it'll become.
Yeah, because coming over the hill, people are
You're not
refusing to
gonna
go
see it.
faster than 55. And we do see police officers on 10 pulling people over consistently, constantly, but more often than not, we have seen people going over 55.
And there's a high school up the street too with young drivers.
Well, and I think the breakouts might eliminate an opportunity for the public to hear each other's questions, so I'd like to make a
If
request.
you're doing breakouts, you're not gonna hear.
I agree,
everybody.
that's what I'm asking, so I think it would be nice to stay on the record and have it recorded, and us sharing our questions with the specialized people that are here, unless there's objection on your part. I just think these questions are just excellent questions.
My
So-
question is, how many semis
so-
are gonna be coming out of that
Can-
place and heading to the north?
So please, let's answer the question so that we don't lose track. We'll come back to you, sir. Sorry, I keep interrupting because some of the questions you are asking are not going to be completely answered by this project. So for your question, if you wait, let me finish, and then you will understand. So for the traffic that is generated by this project, it has been taken care of. The county is also doing a comprehensive safety action plan that is analyzing all the corridors because you cannot be solving problems in isolation. If I solve it here, I'm pushing it somewhere else. We're doing that. As a matter of fact, it's going to be starting in a couple of months. We'll be doing that study. After we do all the study, all of these issues that you are raising will be identified, and we'll be recommending proposals on how to solve them.
Is that a couple of years out?
I would say, it take about a year and a half to do the study, so in about 2 years, we start seeing the implementation. Yes.
Done now before the construction, because while we're waiting, people are gonna come over the top of that hill and they're gonna hit the trucks that are coming out of there.
Why are those trucks coming up and turning into that parking lot left? Why aren't they going up TT and making it right where they don't have to cross traffic?
Because it's inconvenience for Amazon. That's the reason why.
It's just, I'm not a traffic expert, that's just.
It's not hard, they should route it all, should stop relatively mainly right-hand turns in and out of it. Correct.
You can take your decision. So I explained this. I said this at the beginning. We have to work together in order to solve the problem. If you
Asking a lot of favors from us, and I don't see a lot of working together, sir. I hear you saying this a lot, but I think this someone over here brought up about the fact that why would they be coming out this way? Why would they be making left turns? There is no actual real reason for them to go straight through on N and then make a left across that highway. There is no good reason to be doing that. They can simply come into driveway B after going through the roundabout and make a right turn, a protected right turn into the Amazon facility.
And a protected right turn back onto N down
come back out the opposite way. That is the most safest way to do the turns in and out of there. And there is no reason that they should not be able to accommodate that. We are being asked to accommodate a lot. It's time for them to start stepping up and also doing the right thing here.
So was that a question or you were telling me? Because I'm not to, so I'm trying to, okay, so, so if you look at how the project was designed, it was designed in such a way that the trucks are not making turns. If you again, I'm just going to make, if you have to make the entrance on T, the truck has to go around the roundabout and then make a right turn and then come back again and go through the roundabout. It increases a lot of conflict points. It might look, it might look that way. It might look that way that it's safe, but it's actually not. But yeah, I'm just explaining how we analyzed it.
If the roundabout is properly engineered for semi-traffic, there's no reason why the semi shouldn't be able to safely proceed through that roundabout as it makes it. What's that?
They gotta go halfway around it anyway. What's the difference with 3/4 of the way around it?
So there is no reason why your logic, I'm sorry, is not sound.
Okay.
When you're coming north on N, off the interstate, or coming through Cottage Grove on N, going through that roundabout, they have to be in the left lane, because the right lane is a right turn only onto TT, okay? So they have to be in the left lane, and whether they're gonna go out and get around it to go halfway through it, or whether they're gonna slow down and make the turn to the left, and then make a safe turn to the right into the Amazon project, that is the safest way to do it. That limits the number of semis that are coming all the way across the left. It limits the amount of traffic going up N to be able to make that left turn. And if anybody else comes out, the fact that we stated the fact that there's cars coming over the hill at 55, need to be slowed down to 40, 45, 35, here's the thing, Phil, everybody. It's gonna take time for people to slow down to do it, and that's up to us to ultimately do that. And that means we have to teach our kids, we have to teach our community and stuff like that to slow down. Because they cannot engineer or design something and say, you gotta go 40 when you go through here to make it safe. Unless we do it, there's no safe way to proceed through it. Unless we move it slightly over, and there is no reason that it cannot be moved to enter into driveway B and then proceed back into where it needs to be. There is no reason
So
it can't be done. Then when they get ready to come out, they can come out on Highway N, and I believe it was driveway D, turn right to where they're safely turning right and proceed up, and then they can go right on TT, left on TT, down to the N to get onto the interstate, whichever way they need to go. Furthermore, there's really no safe way to get out and go north on N, or no safe way to come, unless they go to the roundabout and make a U-turn to go back up north on N, for the semis to get out of there, unless they're coming out onto TT.
So you already talk about B. B is right in the functional area of that roundabout.
No, it's way down the road. No, it's way down the road, past the house.
B is which
There's
one?
no driveways that are down.
The B is the closest one to the gas station.
Yes, it's right closest to the gas station, right? Yeah. So,
Can I interrupt here for a second?
sure.
On here, I don't want to keep this going because we are live stream, so I'm going to step in.
Okay.
Can I sign up?
Okay.
Talk real quick? Hi, everybody. We greatly appreciate all of your questions, okay? And we want to answer them. And we have a room full of professionals. We have the county, we have the Pinnacle team, we have village staff. All of your questions, we want to answer all of them. However, it's going to be more conductive if we have one-to-one conversations, as how a project information meeting does typically happen, is you individually get to ask your questions to the staff and the experts here. One thing that is very important to notice is that there is a large environmental corridor in and around the Amazon site, so there are areas that they were not able to construct because of an environmental corridor. So we appreciate all your questions.
But has your expert been by there and physically looked at it?
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So we're adding in a bunch of trucks. Is there environmental study to address?
This project information meeting is related to the construction, related to the County Highway TT and County Highway N project. Those are the questions that we're going to be answering tonight.
Will there be an opportunity for the public to answer or ask questions and get answers from you as a group of professionals and community leaders?
Yes, we're all here to answer any questions you guys have.
On the record, publicly. We'd
Hey, is the mic on now? Okay, thank you, sir. So, what you're saying, I don't like to leave things halfway, so I'll come back to you. So, what you're saying makes sense when you just look at it like that. That intersection, the driveway that you are referring to, is the one closest to the roundabout by the gas station. It is right in the functional area of the roundabout. So if you have traffic backing into the roundabout, then it creates more. I'm just explaining what the logic. No, but no. Oh, yeah, I.
Still turn to the right, that's fine, we can facilitate that.
So, but again, I see a logic.
The point is that they can go to driveway A or B. He's saying that B is not gonna work because it'll back up into the roundabout and that could cause a problem. What I'm saying is fine, then go down to driveway A and go in as well. Because either one works for us, it's still a right turn into their facility, into the Amazon facility.
So,
It shouldn't. Unless the Amazon facility doesn't take the traffic into their facility in a timely fashion.
yeah, so
Which clearly should.
The only thing with that though is there are homes on TT, there are
Oh,
homes
yes,
there,
ma'am.
and so.
And they're all up for
We
sale
were-
for $1 million because of the fact that they're all rezoned commercial.
They're not all, mine is not.
Oh, is it? Okay,
But,
sorry.
so.
Don't worry, don't worry,
Like,
it's
we
okay.
were, we were told that there would
Okay,
not
it's okay.
be, truck traffic on TT because that's more of a residential area than. Well, I mean,
So-
regardless, like, no matter what, this is not gonna be good for any of us who live here.
So,
I live in the subdivision right behind you then, so I agree with what you're saying. What I'm trying to say is to be able to safely move this traffic, because we're already, let's be honest, for anybody that lives in the area, we're already getting screwed. So let's at least make it safe for our loved ones, because they're gonna do what they wanna do. The only thing is maybe we can ask them to do it in a way that'll make it safe for those of us around here, rather than convenient for Amazon. Because we need it to be safe for them, and I don't care what Amazon's problem is, they've already screwed all of us.
Well, we've got a lot of people here that
so let me just, please, ma'am, I'll come to you. Let me just help him so that he's satisfied. So, what you actually take a look at is the sight distance to be able to see the vehicle coming and so that you can make the right decision. So, for the preferred entrance, which is what you don't agree with, it meets all of those criteria that you can see with the speed limit. You can see it from a distance and react before something should occur. Well,
You have to cut down the line of sight, you have to cut that hill down even more.
so yeah, I know it really looks that way when you look at it physically.
We live here, right, this road, none of you do.
If you come over that hill,
So-
and you're in Wisconsin weather in the middle of that, you
So
will not
yes,
stop.
so I do understand. I do understand. We have to try to make it safe, and I really appreciate that, and it's true. And say that again. It will not take any deaths. I don't know why we are all just looking at it as we are trying to look at deaths. We have looked at it to be the safest location to put it based on the analysis. Again, that's the best thing we can do.
Oh my God. I live on Highway N.
Yes, sir.
Right across the street from that fucking place. And I have seen cars go up that hill 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. I've seen them come down that hill, and they are punching it, passing 4 or 5 cars. And you're telling me they're gonna go up over that hill doing 30 miles an hour? I think you're full of BS, because that ain't gonna frickin' be slamming into the side of a semi, then what?
Well, which is what they're saying, they are gonna slow down the speed limit, and they are gonna extend it further up the hill, and I'm not defending them.
Yeah.
They are talking about moving that up the hill, but
What?
they have taken the most convenient route for them,
Mm-hmm.
rather than doing what's right for the community, and that's what you need to stop, sir. You're
So-
making it convenient for Amazon, you're not making it right for the community. You said you wanted to do this for the community, then let's make it right. The entrances on TT, as much as I don't want those frickin' trucks on the road that I'm primarily on, but I'm on N and TT, I go through that intersection every between 6 to 10 times a day or more. So I know how much of a pain in the butt this is going to be for me with you guys once again shutting it down. But it's not the safest. It is not the safest way to do this. The safest way is right turns in and out of their facility, and that's it. You have a lot of large vehicles that are gonna be coming and going. The easiest route, and I don't think, you guys are engineers for traffic. I'm pretty sure that if you had any of these people honestly answer, I don't think any of them will tell you protected left turn, or as a hill comes over a hill or not. Any of them will agree that that's safer than going to the roundabout, going around and taking a turn to the right into the facility. It's not convenient for Amazon.
So what you've explained makes sense when you look at it that way, but if you
I'm
do,
looking at it the way everyone's looking at it, sir.
well, if you look at
Explain why that's not
It's-
the right way. What is it?
the analysis is showing that if you do it that way, it creates backups, and backups create also rare ends.
Okay, so you're saying
So-
it's a backup issue.
Yes, it's going to create a back.
They go through A and B.
Yes, it will create backups on. It will create backup on T, and it, or TT, sorry, on TT, and then it backs up into the roundabout. It creates more problem in the. Say that again.
Why would it create backup? Because
So-
they come through in an efficient manner, and the roundabout's engineered properly
Mm-hmm.
to facilitate that much traffic going through there, and it's actually being designed in a way that will facilitate the vehicles to move through there in a timely fashion. And Amazon allows the vehicles to come in by making right turns into driveways A and B. Why would there be any backups onto the road, sir?
So when you are driving and you want to exit, the natural thing to do is to slow down. That creates variance in the speed, and that's what creates the backup. So what I'm saying is that the analysis were done, and it was with all of what I'm explaining now. That is the reason we chose that.
You're saying the semis are gonna have to slow down too much to make the full left turn instead of being able to continue to go right, and that slowdown is what's gonna create the backups.
First off, the semis are gonna have to stop to wait for traffic to go by, and anyway, to turn into Amazon. Secondly, my comment is, then why is it that UPS, FedEx, and all of these other companies design their routes so the driver does not have to cross traffic?
Traffic, sure.
All of
And-
them design and do their deliveries and everything to be right turns only because it increases the efficiencies of the vehicles. I believe that's what you're referring to, right, sir?
So
Not just the company, that's what these major companies do, and the trucks are gonna have to stop on N anyway, and there's gonna be backups, because now you're going to go through a roundabout, and this semi is sitting there on, especially at rush hour traffic, everybody coming out of Sun Prairie, going in, so now the semis are gonna sit there, because they can't turn left, and they're gonna be slow trying to get started again and to turn into there.
So just to explain that point is that when you are on N, then they have room where they could have a storage room where they can come out of the traffic and stay in the turn lane and wait before they make the turn without impacting the traffic.
But that's only.
So on,
If that's gonna create backups, wouldn't that create a backup all the way down?
No.
Because they're trying to make a left turn?
if you are entering the turn lane, then you are not obstructing traffic in the through lane.
No, but how many semis are gonna be able to fit into that turn lane?
All the semis, they're not coming up at the same time. That's
Sir, there's gonna be over 300 a day.
So-
Go down this route. This is not a travel
the,
route.
so, okay. That's
That defeats your argument about the many people, how many left turners can wait to make a left turn on N going to the left? You guys know. Somebody here in this group knows, because you're an intelligent group,
Okay.
I know
Yeah,
this.
and
Okay.
that, we have all this information
Listen,
here. We're
the-
trying to do this, we're
No,
we're trying to do
the
the
plans.
breakouts. You can ask them, you can measure it. This is how the meeting was set up for us.
Say that again.
My residential driveway is across from your driveway C.
Yes.
There's no way I'm gonna get out of my driveway with 10 semis backed up on N. I won't be able to turn left, waiting for the traffic. Yeah, I will never be able to get out. I mean, it's just, and then we've got another guy up the street from me and the barber shop. Those cars are, you can't even get out there now.
Can there'll be a center turn lane. Can the
Yeah.
engineer speak to these?
Say that again.
So now it's gonna be my question, is there any thought about expanding the number of lanes, especially if there is a backup into the left lane? Like, is it possible to put 2 lanes on each side? Correct, currently it is 1 lane on each side, that way it is more capacity.
So, excellent. No, excellent point. Excellent point. And that's why we are doing this study to see what we need to do. So, so, so,
It might be helpful to kind of recap how the study was done, because this design evolved over a period of 2 years of engineering. Prior to that, traffic.
How much public
you know,
input
see,
was 2 years of private engineering?
you don't want
Well,
technical details, just move up to that.
transportation requirements.
That doesn't answer the first question, most of us don't appreciate that.
So that in order to keep this thing going, we are ready to answer questions. The questions that you're asking has been really drilled down into when we're doing the reviews and the analysis. I just know that I know it might be that I can't really convince you now, but that is what we actually did. For your driveway, we can sit back and take a look at it and then see what options that we have.
I wish you'd come some morning about, anywhere from 6:30 until 8.
Yeah.
And there's accidents, I mean, just like you said, come off that hill.
Yeah.
People are slowing down, and these are cars and trucks that are going down the interstate to go to Madison to go to work, or
Yeah.
turning left to go to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Again, these people are just, they're crashing all the time.
So I will take, because when it comes to driveway, I really need to pay a lot of attention now. So what I will do is I'll take your number and then we'll follow up back with you. Yes, we'll have to do that one, yes. Okay, I'll work on that. Yes.
It is a good idea if you would take a visit during rush hour and see how homeowners and students and buses and commuters are trying to get out of neighborhoods and driveways and how dangerous it is. I appreciate this meeting, I wish it would have been a little earlier.
Hey, let's quiet down so we can hear the questions.
I appreciate this meeting, I feel like we're being told what's already been decided without any community input, and here's my point. I don't want our concerns here minimized over safety. Last time I brought up an issue over safety, a 3-year-old child was killed in a car accident because not much was done. And I tried to get it done, and I was blown off. And a 3-year-old died. So I am very passionate about this, and I want you all to take our concerns extremely seriously before all of this comes to a point where somebody is hurt or worse.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with that. And ma'am, I've driven it during those commute hours. I'm going to drive it again. All I want you to do for me is this. I just want you to have a little bit of trust that we will do the. No? No? Don't worry. Just 1 second. So, okay, don't trust me, but I just want to say that we did 2 years of reviews and analysis. All of these points you are bringing up, we consider them. But again, given the situation out there, it's hard for just looking at it and saying, okay, it's safe or it's not safe. Please, we are going to do a thorough study, not only on Highway N, countywide.
Respectfully, sir,
Well,
if you haven't done the studies already, it's too late. You're about to start doing construction on Monday.
so the study is not meant for this project. The study is meant for the corridor, for the entire corridor, not just that location. Because we've had meetings with I've had meetings with residents regarding Highway N in general. And they brought up very pertinent points that are not even in that location that we need to look at. So that study will be doing all of that.
Will we maybe look at possibly redirecting Amazon's traffic to make right turns in and out of their facility to make it safer? Is there any reason why their traffic coming in and out of there could not be making right turns to make it safer? Is there any reason why they couldn't do that?
The reason why they couldn't do the TT which you are recommending is the fact that it's going to back up the traffic into the roundabout.
Under that logic, respectfully, sir, under that logic, the amount of semis you're gonna be able to put on N in the protected left turn lane will far be less than the amount of semis that'll be waiting to turn right. You'll be able to get more cars going into driveway A or B by making a right turn, then turn around and have them go north on N and go left. But the experts can probably, in a matter of seconds, tell us how many of the number of semis will be able to fit inside the protected left turn lane going north on N between there and the roundabouts before it'll be creating a backup. And at the same time, they can also answer that on how many semis you'll be able to fit in making a right turn into driveway A.
Okay. So the best way to respond to the question now would be, let's just look at the plans. Then they explain it on the plans.
Somebody can do it. Somebody back here has
So-
the
so-
information. Break it out and give it to us.
Yes, we'll be.
Break it out from this. I believe that everybody's getting, unless
So-
I'm mistaken, everybody's getting
So what did you want?
information generally given to them.
Do you know how many semis sat there every day while they're building this place, going in that exact driveway, and never had it backed up in their own?
Hello. Hi. Can we quiet down real quick? I think what would really help, 1 second. Okay. I think what would really help is just a brief overview of what's not necessarily readily understood from just a TIA document. So the traffic impact analysis looks at all your concerns. We brought up those same concerns to Amazon. WISDOT, Dane County, Village of Cottage Grove, we all looked at that document and brought up concerns, and comments were addressed. I want everyone to understand that when we meet standards, throughout the year, standards change. I'm not a roundabout expert. I don't know what the standards for roundabout were back then, but usually standards change, and we are always designing our projects to meet current standards. We also go, when people say that we design for the minimum is what is needed to be safe. It's not unsafe. There's a factor of safety built into minimums. We would love to get desirable, but sometimes we can get minimums. A lot of the features of this project have desirable standards and actually exceed that. So we do our best, and I do kind of take offense to, we're not designing safe for the public. That's not our role. No, we take an oath as engineers to design, Dane County, we take an oath as engineers to design for the public in a safe and efficient manner. I'm generalizing it.
You're building, in most cases for this project, my understanding, based on my discussion with you and with the commissioner, was that you're building in most cases to the minimum standard.
Not in most cases.
But you're going above in some areas possibly. If you're not building to a higher level, I'm assuming risk is going up when you're building in most or many cases to the minimum safety standard. Would that be a correct statement?
I want to get back to the issues, right? Your concern was people coming over the hill at speed.
Concern was a number of concerns.
I understand that, but I want you to all know that as a group, we've all looked at this project. This is not our first go-around building projects, right?
You guys looked at the project.
Yes.
You looked at the desirables.
Yes.
Was your desire
We review the analysis to make sure it's safe.
It's a simple question, yes or no. Was yours more of a desirable to have semis making right turns off TT into the facility?
We don't look at documents like that. I think that's what you're not understanding. We look at the data that's given,
You have the data that's given.
right? We look at the data that's given to us. We look at the proposed analysis, and we make sure that it's up to standards.
We aren't asking that. You still avoided the question.
We cannot
Is it
answer that because that's not how we look at it.
Okay.
We are objectively looking at data. We cannot look at data like that. It's data. Our job is to take.
That is a load of crap.
And I'm sorry you feel that way.
Off TT,
Right.
a more desirable term for it, and was that a desirable thing that you did?
So-
And the fact that you won't answer the question
I was
tells
not
me that
here
it
when
probably
this
was the desired way, and Amazon strong-armed you and made it so it didn't happen.
That's an assumption.
So,
It's an assumption because you're avoiding the question, and you're
I just
gonna
answered
answer
your
it.
question.
so,
Hey, so
What's the more desirable, right turn into a parking lot or left turn with a hill coming, a hidden hill coming over?
at this point, we're not going to answer any more questions for the podium. You can go to the breakout tables, sir.
Public record out here with everyone.
Sir, we stood here for over an hour, and now you're getting upset about things. We want to move to.
I'm not even displeased.
Okay, well, we're going to do what we designed this meeting to do for the breakout rooms. You can talk to everybody at the tables. Please stay and ask questions. Thank you.